Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we are taking a look at Dialekt by Bytes, their brand new Groovebox. 8-track Groovebox, you have kick, snare, cymbals, slice, multi, bass, synth, chord, all these independent engines. You have control over each of those engines. So for example, if I double click on synth here, there we go, you'll see the synth engine. It's very deep, it's complex. Okay, so I'm gonna get you going so you can make your own track, because to do this in one video for me would be too much. Okay, and I want you to be able to follow along. So as you can see, there's a lot going on here. We have mixes, effects, we have settings, info mode, which is just when you tap on something, it'll give you some information. First thing we want to do, I'm going to go to song, okay? And if you want to follow along, this is a good way to do it. I'm going to tap on this here. This is our preset browser. See if we go plus, minus, I'm going to tap on this and I'm going to hit init, okay? And I'm going to hit init again. And this will clear everything out inside of Dialekt, okay? If we go to our memory page now, you'll see the overview of the entire song is now blank. Now I'm going to go to this. I'm going to engage the link for the parts and effects and try and explain what this does. This is the part, okay? So a part is divided into 4 patterns, okay? So you can watch track along here, all right? This is your effects section. If you double tap on this, you'll get to the effects page. I'm not going to go into this today because I don't want to start getting beyond what you can actually grasp. Okay, so a pattern. These are patterns, okay? You can have up to 4 patterns in a part, right? So if I look at song mode now, you'll see that this is pattern 1. What I'm first going to do is I'm going to set a scale. So key, I'm going to go up to A, and I'm going to tap on this and select minor, so that anything that I randomize or use will be constrained to A minor. For the sake of this video, I'm going to switch song mode off, okay? So it's not going to track along and stuff. Now I'm going to go to pattern, okay? And each of these patterns, right? Each of these synth engines will have a sound already in it. If I put in some kicks now, like this, I'll just put in a 4 on the floor and I'll press play. Let me press play on the transport and start it here. We have a kick, but you'll see it's tracking along. So first bar, second bar, third bar, fourth bar. On this bar that it's on now, I'm going to hit this pin button, and now it's just going to loop this first bar. Okay, let's go and put some snare hits in, basic stuff, and let's go and put some cymbals in. Now this time I'll draw them in. Select the little pencil icon and I can draw them in. So then you have a slice engine, multi-engine, bass engine, synth engine, chord engine. You cannot have 2 slices, you cannot have 2 chords. These are what you get, okay? So you have to make your track with what you have. But don't worry, it's fast. So now we've got this little pattern and it's only for, like, it's 1 bar long in a part, okay? So you can see it's 1 of 1. If I go to 2, and it's pinned, you'll see there's nothing there. So if I can do 2 things now. I can select this symbol and go to synth, and here is the symbol engine. You see it's all playing as C1. I'm going to select pattern and change this. Okay. And now I'm going to make some adjustments to the controls. So we have cutoff filter, level, pan. Now we can do this for each independent step as well. So you can see how powerful Dialekt is, right? Okay, so what can we do? Let's put some reverb on. Now we've just put some reverb on that cymbal. If we go to our mixer, here are our reverb controls. So basically these are sends. Same with delay. You won't really hit it with that though, because it's going 16 parts anyway. So if I go to step, I can change each individual step. Now I can't change the engine, but I can change all sorts of other stuff. So let's select this step and put a roll on it. And maybe this one we'll put. Then you have probability of whether that step will play, the length of it, and also the tempo of the pattern, the bar, okay? So let's put some envelope modulation on. Just this one, remember. Select this one. Just extending this one now. Let's go to our kick and make some adjustments to that. So we're on pattern. Let's go to pattern. Let's drive it up. Maybe a bit of delay. Let's look at our mixer. Change it to a triplet. Now we can, remember on pattern, on step we can control each individual step. On pattern, okay, awesome stuff. Right, so we've got one bar. If we go to the section that says memory now, make sure you're on copy, not swap. If you're on copy and the range is all, you're gonna select everything here and we can just copy it over like this. So now we've got our four bars in our part, okay? So for example, because I'm in pin mode, if I unhook pin mode now, it's going to scan through our full part. Now, did you hear that effect then? Look. Let's select this and pin it. So we're on bar 4 in pattern 1, and I'm going to double click on the effects and go to the effect that relates to it, so part 1. You'll see we have this phaser here. I'm just going to erase this because I don't want to get into the effects today because it's too complex. But now, because we're on this 4th bar of this part 1, let's go back to our synth. Let's choose snare and make sure we're on pattern. I'm going to add in and I'm then going to step, click on this and make these a few. Okay. Now I can make any adjustments I like to this one step. Now that's going to give us like a little fill, but maybe we would say, well, let's put a few extra kicks in at the end here. Let's go to pattern. So over the course of X amount of videos, I will do the whole thing, but I just want to get you going, okay? Awesome stuff. So now just on this lost bar of part 1, we've created this little fill. So let's take this one here, which doesn't have that fill, and let's drop it down to part 2. Just for now, ignore these along here, okay? This become useful when you've just got selection on, but we won't get into that today because it gets too deep. Now we can have massive randomization options in this, but you know, I just want to get you going. So let's select this now and let's start to build on that. So let's go back to our synth engine. We're on part 2 now, pattern 1, as you can see down here. Let's add something else in, maybe let's add a slice in. So to see how this works, just let's add some steps in. However, what we can do is click on this little dice and go, do we want to put gates and parameters? Parameters will change the entire synth. Gates will just add steps in. Like that. Okay, so let's... What's this? Let's select this one here on step. And you'll see this says here 1 of 9. So this is slice 7, you can see here. I'm going to change this to slice 2. And you can see down here, you've got a slice editor. You can normalize all this stuff, you know. Close that for a sec. But it's divided into 9. It's divided into 9 slices, so you have 9 slices you can choose from. Okay. Let's change this one to. Let's pitch this up a little bit, and I'm gonna select it and. What's cool here, right, you can go into slice edit like we've seen, but we'll have presets here on every single one of these synth engines. If we click on this and go with Sugar Bytes, these are different presets we've got for the slice engine. Okay, so here we go. 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 And these will have had pre-effects added and stuff. Let's add another slice in here. And I'm going to take the actual pitch up. Go into step. Okay, and we could do the same again now. We could go to our memory. Copy this, copy this, copy this, go to our second bar in part 2, go back to synth, and I'll just select my erase tool and take them out of that one, go back to memory, and I'll take them out of that one as well. Sorry, select my slice engine. And I'll add in a multi now. So we've got some, to start with, some female R's here. Let's just add a few steps in. In fact, let's just randomize. It'll respect our key. So just gates. I'm going to change the pitch on some of these. I'm going to select the whole pattern. So this is our last one now, so let's take pen off a sec. I'm gonna copy this one and put it here and select it. We're pinned on it, so it's not gonna move. I'm gonna add in some bass now. I'm going to randomize the gates. Start playing. Around with it. Make sure I'm on step because I want to change this to an A1 or D. C1 now. Now you can enter notes with your MIDI controller as well. So we're on the first pattern now, number 1. We could choose a different engine. All of these have different engines you can use. Let's add some pitch mod. Just on this first one. Okay. Cool bananas. Let's go back to memory. Let's make some copies. I'm going to select this one. And I'm going to go to snare. Make it a bit of a fill. I mean, I could change this as well to say different synth engine. On this one now, see? Let's just put reverb on this. Okay. What the eye does, if this is switched off, it will just focus literally on where you are. But if we didn't have, like, if we had this running unpinned, if you like, which will just track across this pattern here. So if I press play, see it goes across all of them, and it'll go back. Because song mode is none, it's not going to jump back to the first track, if you like. But if I switch the eye on, it will follow each engine as we go across. Awesome stuff. I'm going to copy this one and put it here. Now you'll also see in this one here we have an effect on the last bar, but we won't worry about that. That won't affect anything till it's on this particular bar. Okay, so I mean, I'm going to get honestly, I'm going to get into much more detail. I would suggest you read the manual. It's really good. But anyway, let's make some adjustments to this now. So we can go into this pattern and maybe let's take out this multi. Now you can add steps in on this pattern page here, and then you can edit them in. So I'm going to just I'm going to put some chords in. You might not hear them, so I'm going to put a few in. I'm going to go to the synth page now. I'm on chord, you can see, so I'm going to make sure I'm on pattern, so I'm adjusting the whole pattern. And you'll see it's all C1. I can select any particular step here. I'll take that out actually and put it here. I'm going to choose this one. I'm in step. I'm going to choose a different chord. So these are chord types. And you can choose the chord type you want here. So if we wanted this to be a minor 9. Okay. But then we can go, well, maybe this wants to be a completely different chord. So not a C minor 9 or a C whatever that is. We can see in here. Let's choose this. Okay. Let's choose maybe a okay, and again you've got all your editing stuff. I'm not going to go too far into the editing range as well, because again, the further you go, the more complicated it gets, of course. Some stuff. So you can load your samples into the slice engine, but we've got no slices going on here, so let's put a few in. In fact, let's just randomize the gates. Let's go into our slice edit and we can choose here all sorts of different samples we can use. So maybe go back and choose this one and slice number 1. And we'll solo there. We've only got one of one slice, so let's make this a little bit more. Let's see, we can, I think, slice intensity. Here we go. Now we'll have 6 slices available. 8 slices. Let's do the whole pattern. Sometimes it can be a bit hit and miss. Or we could just choose a preset again. No prisoners. You can add your own preset in. You know, you can program this stuff and do whatever you like with it. And then if you want to save your song or save your track you're working on, let's click on Init and let's just hit save. And I'll just call this video demo. Okay. Hit save. And now this is called video demo. So if I go to another, one of my presets, for example, this Nitro one. And I go back to my video demo, it's remembered everything. So I'll unsolo it now. Okay. The hand here, watch. I can copy any of these parameters. I can pick up this chord and put it there instead, and you'll see it'll disappear from there. If I've got the hand on, what it'll do is it'll make a copy. And then I could say, well, okay, I'm going to go in here, choose step, and just change this chord. So I'm going to make it... sure why it's not changing. Re-solo it. Right, I thought I would have been able to change that one. Maybe a glitch. But anyway, you get the idea. You also have an arpeggiator for the chords. So let's choose this one. Well, that's clearly... oh, it is. See, something's not quite right here, because now I've lost all control. We go to pattern and back again. So as you can see, I'm trying to move this now. So there's a couple of bugs here and there. It won't work. So anyway, I can still select different parts. That's okay. So that's where it starts. If I go back to my synth, interesting. Well, that works. And it's working now. So let's go back here. And now I should be able to choose an independent step. Yep, there you go. So that was a bug. Okay, right. See how fast it starts to become complicated. So if I tend to go on any further with this, now you'll see it'll get confusing. But suffice to say that if you play around with it like it is, then you're absolutely fine. So we've saved this. I'm going to go back to song mode. So if I switch song mode back on now, there's a pattern that's been pinned, so I'll unpin it. I'll go back to song mode and switch it on. What will happen now is it will play through these. So this would be like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. And you can have up to 8 parts, you know, and each part can have 4 bars in it, sort of thing. You know, you get the idea. So it's just going to play along now through the song, and you can have that repeat X amount of times. And now second part, obviously. But you can also do cool stuff like have this repeat up to 8 times per part. You also have these mute groups as well. These are very clever. So you can choose to mute chord, synth, bass, multi, slicer, cymbal, kick and snare on a per pattern basis in the part. So if I was to mute, say, everything bar the kick inside of this on bar 1 in part 1, okay, you get the idea how that works there. We can take them back out now. Before I go, if you've watched this via Premiere, by the way, thank you very much. I will be doing like lots of these because it's such a big app that it needs like lots of little smaller tutorials. But if you do what that I said and start with just switch song off, initialize it and just start trying to build patterns yourself. Now I'm going to show you some of the randomizer stuff as well. So for example, let's just initialize this as well. The randomizer, you can find a randomizer here as well. Let's just go back here. The randomizer, I'm going to link these and put that back up there as well. The randomizer will let you randomize a single part if one part is just selected. So if we just have this one part selected and I hit random, it's just going to randomize this one part. So 4 bars in this one part. If I have all selected and I hit randomize, it will generate an entire song for you. And you can still go in and make all the changes you like on a per part or a, per pattern or synth basis. You can change everything you like. It's very deep. It really is. So let's look at memory. I'm going to clear this out again. We have different types. So look, I'm going to go with Nitro because Nitro's cool and Nitro works better at a higher BPM. It explains all this in the manual, what the you don't have to, but and then if you click on this before I randomize the whole thing, if you click on this, you can choose what you're randomizing. So if I switch the gates and the pitch off, it's not going to randomize the notes that you may have previously put in, but it will randomize the synth and the sound. And you can choose, like, say, not to randomize the cymbals or anything, or not to randomize anything in the global section. We won't worry about chord progressions, but this is down to what your key is. Okay, so that's it's not that difficult to understand. But look, let's go to our memory again, and I'm going to now say, well, I've got Nitro. I'm going to leave everything as. I'm just going to hit randomize for all, and now it's made a song for us. So even though it can be complex initially, once you grasp how this works, it's really cool. I don't want to cover effects now, but you apply effects like you do anything else in the pattern. So you can have, like, if you're familiar with any of the other Sugar Bytes app, you'll know like Looperator and stuff. You're going to put effects in just little parts of the song. I'm just going to play this, look. And this is just going to play through like a song. But you can randomize, say if we pin that now, right, and just hit selected, I'm just going to randomize that, this bar. And I've got undo. Take it off pin so it tracks through the song. By the way, the song is constantly running, so if you pin something in a particular place, your song is actually running in the background. That's why it's a good idea to turn song mode off. Let's randomize it again. I am going to spend the next 5 or 10 minutes just randomizing some stuff so that you can get an idea of the very, very cool stuff you can do. Like, don't forget the synth page, you have all these options to just choose a preset. Even like, for instance, this. Okay, now we've pinned this. Let's change it up a bit. Now we've completely changed the vibe of that track. Brilliant. Let's choose another style. Mellow. This works good at slower tempos, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to slow that one down. Let's randomize. This is the whole thing. Now I'll close the microphone and just play around with it. Anytime you can just randomize if we turn this off, it's just going to randomize the synth sounds. Randomize the effects for fun. Loads of stuff to go through. presets. You can swap all this stuff out as well. You could say, well, I'll have that one up there. And if you switch song mode off, right, just jam around with this. And if we switch pin off, it'll just play the actual, like, 4 bars, but then repeat them. So this will now go back to bar 1. Randomize everything